Hello, we are alive. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. This is my channel. This is a blank piece of paper. So this time we are not working on a comic page. We are going to work on one of my fun seasonal holiday designs. For the last couple of years, I've done a couple of different holiday card designs that are a little bit different than standard. So last year I did a Krampus, and then like a slightly more traditional, it was just a fox with a little pine tree. And then the year before that, I had done a Marilude and and a raven with like a sprig of holly. Rocks for the holidays. Just gonna be a holiday rock. Burp. It's a rock. So that's what we are working on today. Is we are gonna start doing this year's offbeat holiday design. How are you doing today, Spud? Hey, Hungry. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm going to start with just getting the basic shapes in here. Try to keep somewhat in frame as I'm doing this. Get our basic shapes in here. Try to make sure that I have an idea of what it is that this creature is supposed to look like. Okay, that's a basic shape. It's a goat. Basic goat shape. We're going to try to make a slightly more refined goat shape. I've got some reference images up on my monitor that I am checking out while I do this. Try to make sure that it actually looks like a goat. So we're doing a Yule goat. I figured that would be fun. I'm gonna Goats have funny shaped faces. Trying to make it actually still look like a goat. That is the challenge. And he's got to have a cute little beard. We're going to make this a fun kind of shaggy goat. So how was everybody's weekend? We had a little bit of a tropical storm situation blow on through here. So the Sidewalk Art Festival in Bangor got postponed because we were supposed to have the tropical storm landing on Saturday, which would have been like lots of wind and rain. But it ended up not really doing much of anything until a lot later in the day, where the Sidewalk Art Festival probably would have been done by then. But there was, I mean, they had no way of knowing that. Cooled off, and you actually wished you had a coat. Oh my goodness. It has definitely cooled off here. We have entered the time of year where everybody is trying to hold off and not start their furnace. It's getting down reliably down into the 40s overnight. Not like just every once in a while, but every night it's down in the 40s. So we wake up and it's like 48 and we're like, "No, no, this is fine. This is fine. It's totally fine for it to be 52 degrees in my house." You still have windows open. Goodness. What region do you live in, Spud? I forget. I'm sure you've mentioned before. Like, you don't have to dox yourself on my stream, but just like generally. What general area do you live in? Oklahoma, that's right. I'm like, I swear you've said before. I couldn't remember. Oh, okay. Actually in the Tulsa area. Nice. Hey, someone saying, thanks so much for joining us. So yeah, our little tropical storm didn't really do too much of anything until like the evening, but then the wind blew and it poured, and the river is super high again, and we had like a couple of spots of our road kind of wash out. Like they're not fully washed out, but like the edges are kind of being undermined. So that's fun. It's like a couple of spots it kinda turns into a one-lane road because 'cause you're like, "Oh, I think I should maybe get away from the edge before I fall off of the road," where it just, like, crumbles underneath my vehicle. I'm sure they're gonna fix it eventually, but the Maine DOT came out and just, like, put cones where the edge of the road is crumbling. And I'm like, "Well, you know, at least you're pointing it out in case people aren't paying attention," but, actually fixing it too would be good if you could get to that sometime sooner rather than later. Yeah, super safe, super safe. There's seriously parts where, like, right at near the end of my road, there's, like, this notoriously bad culvert that's always having issues. They have to, like, put in extra gravel around it, like, a couple times a year because it's just always a disaster. But literally the gravel is completely washed away, and there's just, like, a culvert just hanging out with, like, a little strip of tar just kind of hovering over it on the edge, and I'm just like, "Yeah, that's it's great, looks great." Looks super great. One of the few things you don't miss about living up in the New England area, dodging potholes was never fun. True story. Not exactly my favorite part of living up here. There's his other ear. Hey, it's Hexa-Wing Demons. Looks cute so far. Got a lurk for now, but I can't wait to see you this weekend. Yay! Can't wait to see you too. This weekend is the Bangor Comic and Toy Con. Blah, blah, words. Bangor Comic and Toy Con. I will be there. Hexa-Wing Demons will be there. It's going to be a good time. Let's get those little goaty feets in here. I think this little shaggy bit actually comes all the way down to this particular joint. If I am understanding this reference correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm going to look at this again. No, yeah, because their little like ankle bit is down here. And then it's a little goaty foot. Aw, so cute. I'm going to give them some festive little ankle flare. Oh, we've got to get the little harness bit in here. Okay, I do need to look up one more thing. I need to look at what like a bundle of wheat looks like. That seems like a silly thing that I should understand what that looks like, but I don't. This is literally just what I joke about every time. Oh, excuse me. Draw anything. Like, what does anything look like? I don't know. Okay, what does a bundle of wheat actually look like? Not when it's being sold at like a craft store. So frustrating. Where is my big ol' eraser? Oh, this thing is like completely I don't know why I still have the cardboard on it. This is very sad looking. What is this? Okay, I don't think we need this anymore. It's not really doing anything. Okay, there's our little sheafs of wheat outlined. That looks kind of silly the way that I have to fix that. Oh, what are we doing here? Okay. Run into situations like that only to later realize I hadn't thrown out the wrapper because I wanted to remember the brand name. Oh, good call. That was kinda getting to the point where it was like, "I don't think this is gonna do me much good anymore." Ah, little festive little ribbons. Okay. I think I'm gonna need to sharpen my pencil here in a second. It's getting kinda dull. I'm not gonna sweat, like, drawing every single, like, stem of wheat at this stage because this is going to get done in, like, several passes of color after this, so I'm not gonna make myself nuts trying to get every little bit. It's just like, yes, that's a bunch of wheat. That's what's going on there. Basically, I just wanna make sure I have a pretty good guideline for myself so that when I come back and do this in the later steps, I know what I'm doing. Trying to get all these little details on little wheat sheaves. So yeah, the Sidewalk Art Festival got canceled last weekend, which was a bummer, but then it's been rescheduled. They're waiting to hear from the artists to make sure they know who's going to be able to make the rescheduled date. They haven't announced the rescheduled date yet, last that I checked. They just told us today. So hopefully people will still be able to make it to the Sidewalk Art Festival even with the date changed. We'll see. Because I had a very fun time with that one earlier in the summer, and I'm hoping to have another good experience this fall. Okay, I think that's probably a sufficient amount of wheat in that bundle. There's another one on the other side, but we're just going to kind of... I'm going to have this bit here. There we go. We're gonna say that's the other sheaf of wheat back there. Image requires more rocks. No, instead of rocks, we have little bits of wheat. Because I always have to do something to make myself suffer, apparently. Okay. Gotta have like a longer kind of overhang on that. So he looks like he's appropriately shaggy. Gotta be super shaggy. Okay, all the way back down to his little knee back here. So my cute little fuzzy Yule goat. Shaggy Yule goat. Which, he's not a super common Christmas type symbol in the States anyway. And he's not quite as outwardly odd as like a Krampus or a Marlud, but I do like the juxtaposition of like, usually people associate goats with like evil and satanic imagery. And so the idea of like a goat for Christmas, I think is fun. It's fun. It's gone blurry. Oh. Anyone else having blurry issues? I wonder if I'm having a bandwidth issue or if Spud's having a bandwidth issue. Oh, I'm going to put another little jangly on his foot. Does seem like that to me, but you have your own issues with internet. So that was your side again. Oh, it might be me then if both of you are having this issue. Make sure, no, it's looking good on my end. So it's entirely possible it's just my internet is being a butt. Which I wish there was more I could do about that. Locally, my camera seems to be working just fine. So if my internet is being uncooperative, there's unfortunately not a lot I can do. Go out and harass the moose. Be like, hey, give me your internet, moose.
Moose.
Darn internet moose. Not doing its job. Maybe I shouldn't threaten the moose. Maybe I should go out and give him little moosey treats. There's no actual internet moose. That's a joke. I wouldn't threaten a moose. A moose could totally take me. It wouldn't be smart to threaten a moose. All right. Aw, look at him. Look at him. He's so cute. We've got our underdrawing done for our Mr. Yule Goat guy. Isn't he precious? That only took me like 32 minutes. Wow. Okay. That went quickly. Okay. So moving on then. Move some stuff out of my way. Rearrange a little bit here. I need to find my kneaded eraser. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to take my kneaded eraser, make sure I have a fairly clean spot on it. Oh, thanks. I like your little ribbons. So festive. Okay. Got a fairly clean spot on my kneaded eraser here, and I'm going to just kind of lighten up a lot of these lines so they're not quite so heavy. I don't have quite so much graphite piled up on the page, kind of clean up some of the areas where it's smudged nowhere near the actual drawing. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now you can see we can definitely still see our goat friend, but it's not quite so heavy-handed as it was. So now that means we can start doing some of the colors, which is very exciting. Okay, so this is my new attempt at keeping myself organized with these. What is this? Is this like a crumb? Oh God, I'm so disgusting. Okay. Shut up, you. So it's like a lid from another container, like another art supply organizing thing, but it's deep enough to keep the pencils from rolling out. And so that's what I'm attempting at this point, to keep these somewhat organized. And I can just kind of like set them on my desk and have them close at hand and actually see all the colors and not constantly be searching for the colors that I need. All right. So this is going to be a fairly light colored goatee friend. I'm going to go in. I'm going to start by going in with some mustard. Yeah, it's like I'm always on a quest. Exactly, Spud. I'm always on a quest to find like actually the correct container for my art supplies. Because like I'll think that something works and I'll put everything in that for a while and then I'll be like, this doesn't work. And then I'll yank it all out of there and be disgruntled. So fun. All right. So I'm going to start in with a little bit of the mustard as like a base color. These are the Derwent Inktense water soluble ink pencils that I am using. Like I do. So we're going to start with just this little bit of like a yellow tone to put down here all over him. All right, we're going to do some baked earth to start building a little bit of our poster, which is to say the places where we have shadows. Finding the depth and form by blocking in shadows. Mm-hmm. Getting a little bit of the sense of the form that this goat actually exists in like 3 dimensions. I mean, not really, but we want him to look like he does. Obviously, this is not a goat. This is a drawing of a goat. This is not a goat. I don't know what the French for goat is. Okay, that gives us a basic idea of where some of that depth is going to be. Gives us some of the actual form of our little goaty friend. All right. I have a few colors I haven't really done much with yet. We're going to go in with tan, get that a little bit all over. As like a kind of basic all over color for this little guy. Interesting thing with the Inktense pencils is that you don't really know what you're going to end up with until you have everything activated at the end. So there's always a certain amount of like just kind of experimenting and playing and seeing what happens. Like if you spend a lot of time working with them, you'll get pretty good at predicting how the colors are going to blend together, but there's always a certain amount of like, oh, maybe this will work, maybe this won't. And that's part of why I think they're fun. There's a little bit of unpredictability in them. A little bit of like room for surprises and happy accidents and that sort of thing. Okay, we're going to go in with, I need like a darker color. We're going to do some willow. This is like all my neutral standbys, the baked earth, the willow. Just gonna make some of this a little bit darker. Really push some of those values a bit. He's so fluffy. I love how shaggy this guy is. He's so much fun. Okay. Got some nice depth going on Mr. Goat here. I'm going to do just a little bit of like a gray color in there too. What is that? I would like, where is my charcoal? Where are you? That's black. There's charcoal. Okay. We're going to do just a little bit of charcoal in here in like the middle so that he's not totally just brown. He's got a little bit of a gray tone to him as well. Just kind of trying to add a little bit of something different to the color here so it's not all just brown. Okay, and then let's do. Oh, let's add a little bit of iron. Okay, this might be weird. I'm going to add a little bit of iron green to the deepest shadows because since it's kind of like a red and orange toned brown that we have going on here. Just a little bit of iron green in the darkest shadows. Which will neutralize some of the, like, make some of the reddish tones more like neutral instead of red. but also will just add a lot of really neat depth to the color. Assuming I don't just completely mess it up with this. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right, that's a good start on Mr. Goat here. We've got about 10 minutes left. It's time to start doing the YouTube things while I work on some more little details here. So, YouTube things. I'm Amanda Call. This is my channel. I work on art here on a live stream just about every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like watching me work on stuff, you should subscribe. Very frequently, you'll see me on here working on my comic, Age of Night, which you can read at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. That is my fantasy webcomic. It updates just about every Wednesday. But I work on other stuff sometimes too, like today, where I'm working on this illustration of a goat, a Yule goat for my offbeat holiday card this year. Just going to be a Yule goat. So, what other things? I have this coming weekend, I will be at the Bangor Comic and Toy Con in Bangor, Maine. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Cross Insurance Center. So, if you're in the area, come check it out. Come say hi. I will be there, as will a bunch of other cool people selling my arts. All right, horns. We'll see how those do when we activate them. Now let's see, little feet. What color do I want his little feet to be? I guess they can be kind of a grayish color. Kind of another neutral color similar to the horns. Hey, Oscar, thanks so much for joining me. Unfortunately, I'm very close to being done for the evening. So we usually only do these streams for about an hour so that everybody can like get up and stretch and do other stuff. Where did my gray that I was using go? Here we go. But that is okay because I will be back next week at the same time. And also these stay up on my channel so you can always watch the archived version of it. All right, we've got his little feet started there. It's looking kind of like we're going to be most of the way through the actual, like, getting the colors and everything down and started, which is nice. Oh, there were supposed to be ribbons on his horns, and I totally forgot. No, you big dummy. Okay. That'll be interesting. We'll see how this works. Totally forgot he was supposed to have ribbons on his horns. Good job, Amanda. Well, we'll see if we can recover this. All right. We'll see how that works. He's got to have a pretty bright red harness on. He's got to have all those pretty bright red ribbons on. We'll add just a little bit of depth to those ribbons, and then that'll probably be it for this evening. So yeah, if you like watching me work on art, chat about what I'm doing, occasionally make very silly little mistakes, you should definitely like this video, subscribe to the channel, all the fun YouTube things. I do these live streams just about every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also find me on various social medias as either Age of Night or Amanda Call Art. And you can always watch these videos and enjoy my comic for free on the internet. But if you want to help support me, I do have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Age of Night. Patrons get all their Age of Night pages a week early, other fun, exclusive comics and peeks at stuff, free comics for signing up, fun process updates, just all sorts of goodies. And I super appreciate it. Helps me out a bunch. Candy cane horns. They do look like candy cane horns. Very cute. All right, that is going to do us for this evening. I started with a blank piece of paper this evening about an hour ago. I drew my goat. We've got a good start on the colors. So next week we will see how far we can get towards finishing him up. Continue on the colors, start activating it with water and picking out details and that sort of fun stuff. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me this evening. I will see you next time. Bye.